Welcome back. Win money while you watch your favorite team play. A new app called WinView lets users win cash prizes by making predictions during live television sporting events. Joining me right now is Tom Rogers. He is the executive chairman of WinView and the former CEO of TiVo. Tom, it's good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. So WinView, not a sports betting app. We want to make that clear right off the bat.
Very true.
But different than fantasy sports. Explain WinView and the success that you've seen here.
The essential question, because it is totally different than fantasy sports. Fantasy sports, you're picking some players, you're locked and loaded before the game begins. What WinView is all about is playing along with live television, being in the game, being in the moment, being part of the action on the field. It's all about predicting what's going to happen next in a game. When you're watching sports on television, there are two competitions going on. There's a football game on the field, and then there's a competition in the living room where with your buddies or fathers and sons, and they're saying, no, the quarterback's going to throw, not run. No, watch this. There's going to be at least 10 yards rushing on this play. And that competition is the one that we are capturing and making sure people can play for pride or for money. And that second competition has never been brought to bear in a way that viewers can really do something about it.
That is so exciting, Tom. I feel like this is the last bastion of growth in an area where you've got, bundles going away, streaming taking market share, but sports and gaming or apps continues to see really revenue growth and growth in general.
Well, while Fox Business News is thriving and news on cable in general is thriving, the television ecosystem is getting battered.
Yeah, tell us about that.
And it's fascinating to see that live sports has grown in importance to the television industry. When I started running TiVo in 2005, 9 of the top 10 live television shows in terms of what people watch live on television, 9 of the top 100, I'm sorry, were sports television.
9 of the top 100.
Today,
wow.
That's 90 of the top 100 shows watched live on television are sporting events. And that has grown astronomically. But despite the fact that sports has this incredible position in live television, as you say, the bundle's under attack. ESPN's lost 15 million subs in the last couple of years. And NFL ratings challenged. The big story, was it just last year or is it continuing this year? It looks like it's continuing this year. The aging of the sports audience is really something. Over 55% of the television audience for baseball, say, is over 50 years of age. And you put all those factors together, young audiences are discerning linear television and are discerning linear television sports. And something's got to be done about that to engage that audience.
You've already seen tremendous success in Europe. Tell us about that. You work with Eurosport. Discovery Communications, obviously an investor in your company. What have you seen in terms of the revenue model in Europe?
What makes us so confident about the prospects for success of WinView is that in Europe, people playing along on their mobile devices while they watch live sports on TV, predicting what's going to happen next, get this, is a $160 billion industry.
Holy moly.
$160 billion. When you think about how challenged the networks, broadcasters, cable operators are here with the attack of the bundle, and the bundle looking like it's going to accelerate in terms of its decline, having a source of money of that kind of magnitude that we can develop here in the United States may be just what the doctor ordered in terms of the sports and live television ecosystem.
Let me ask you this, Tom, because, when you look at a Hulu, when you look at Netflix, they're all trying to get more content. Disney comes out 2 weeks ago saying, we're not going to sell any more content to these streamers. We're doing our own streaming. Isn't sports right there? Aren't you going to have Amazon bidding for sports? Already Amazon's bidding for sports. Aren't you going to have all of these sort of not TV traditional players bidding for the bread and butter of the traditionals, which is sports? How do you see that changing?
Well, I was talking to Les Moonves over the weekend, and he concedes. Next time that the major sports packages come up, they're in all likelihood going to be separate packages for linear traditional television and digital. And the so-called FANG companies, some combination of them, Amazon, Google, Facebook.
It's getting tough for traditional.
They're already going for sports, but the likelihood that they will go for some significant sports packages is there.
So how does WinView capitalize on this and sort of stand, itself to grow while sports is also the last pasture now, but who knows?
So you're seeing all this attack on the cable bundle and the satellite bundle already declining. When you can start getting sports programming free on the internet, what's that going to do in terms of accelerating decline? What's going to happen when Viacom and Discovery, one of our partners, as you say in this, start offering a non-sports skinny bundle for a very cheap price? What is that going to do about further deceleration of sports programming that is available in rooms? So what do the broadcasters, cable networks need to do? They need to figure out a new source of revenue. They need to find a way that really not only engage the viewer more, as anybody on the Google, Netflix, Facebook side is going to need to do. They need to engage viewers more. Younger audiences want a social experience. Younger audience want to be more participatory in terms of how they view. And the combination of more revenue and more engagement is what WinView does for the sports industry.
So what the business model, I mean, it's free, the app.
It is free today. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's available. It's a free download of the app, and you play for free. We have sponsors like Pepsi in there who are supporting this on an advertising basis. But in about 6 weeks, we are going to introduce entry fees, people being able to put in participation fees. The pots get bigger. The other thing about fantasy that makes this so unique is the immediate gratification. After any quarter of a football or basketball game, or after an inning of a baseball game, you know if you won or not, and you know if you won money or not. And
That's
the
incredible.
accessibility of prizes is totally different than fantasy. We put 20 people in a room to compete together. The top 3 win cash prizes. So accessibility, immediate gratification, playing along live, being able to play 4 quarters of a game, each one being a different game in terms of opportunity to win, all that makes a drastic difference in terms of the ecosystem of sports, where they have this issue now of not only people not showing up as much to watch games on television, but if the game's not a great game, if it's not a close game, so many blowouts as we saw yesterday, what happens is they lose viewers. But if you're competing in the living room, that second competition, hey, what's going on, who's winning between you and me as we play together, you're going to hang in there because you care that much more about the outcome of any particular play.
Real quick, we got to jump, but where does the cash prize come from?
The cash prize, they're smaller now because it's pure advertising supported. When the entry fees, participation fees start up in about 6 weeks, the prizes come from people putting in the money, and most of that gets paid out in prize money.
Love it. Tom, congratulations.
Maria, thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Great
Thank
to
you so
see
much. A longtime executive of television, now leading WinView. Good luck with it.
Thanks
see you
very
soon,
much.
Tom Rogers.